I want to start by speaking to those of you who aren't exactly where you thought you'd be at this point in your life. Maybe you've lost a job or a business. Maybe your finances are a mess. Maybe you need to repair some relationships. Or maybe you're like me 5 years ago and you just feel like everything in your life is falling apart. It's easy to focus on the negativity. I think it's even natural to verbalize what's going wrong in life, isn't it? And I love what Ashley talked about. Your words will become your reality. What are you telling yourself? All I'm saying is I want you to speak increase into your life. I am a walking, talking example that you have to stop worrying about what other people think. Stop worrying about the people sitting next to you. Regardless of who's around you, at any time, if you have an opportunity to speak increase into your life, you don't care who's sitting next to you. With everything you've got, you're going to call it forth into your life. Say increase. Say increase.
I believe that desire for increase is something that is inside of all of us. We are born with it. It is part of our DNA. Just like a baby sea turtle that's born in the sand is instinctively drawn to the sea. It's never been in the ocean before. It's never swam before. But there's something inside that says, I might be in a dark, uncomfortable place right now, but I was meant for more than this. And I'm willing to fight for it. I'm willing to risk my life for it. I'm willing to do whatever it takes for it. Do you have the instinct for increase? See, I could ask any child under the age of 6 or 7, what do you want to be when you grow up? And every one of them, with complete confidence, will say, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be an astronaut. I'm going to be a professional athlete. You didn't used to use the word try. It wasn't until someone in your life said, you can't do that. Or you experienced fear of failure, fear of rejection, and you began to determine your future by your past experiences. You started seeing life through the lens of fear. What if it doesn't work? And as long as you see life through the lens of fear, you will never really attempt success, because what if it doesn't work?
Do you have to have intellect? Yes. Do you need a plan? Yes. Do you need vision? Yes. Do you need to know your products? Yes. But if intellect loads the gun, instinct pulls the trigger. Write this down. If you never pull the trigger, you will always go hungry. For those of you who don't know Brad and I's story before Symmetry, we came into Symmetry almost $300,000 in debt from a business that we had closed. We had no idea how we were going to get started with Symmetry, how it was going to possibly work out, and we feel like someone had just taken us and thrown us off a 2,000-foot cliff. But I love the life principles that we can learn from nature. Take the eagle, for example. They're built for high places. They're built to soar. But when a mother eagle feels its baby eaglet is ready to fly for the first time, she pulls it from where it's comfortable and throws it off of a 2,000-foot cliff. Let me ask you something. Did she do that to the eaglet or for the eaglet? Is life happening to you or for you? And as that eaglet starts to fly through the air, at first it's just kind of flailing and uncoordinated. Do you ever feel like you're flailing and uncoordinated? And logically, it doesn't make any sense, and you're thinking, I should have stayed in my nest. I should have stayed where I was comfortable. I don't see how this could possibly work out. But as that eaglet is falling through the air, it says, I know I've never done this before, but I think I was built for this. And it starts to spread its wings a little bit, and the flapping becomes a little more controlled and a little more graceful. And pretty soon, it's not falling through the air anymore, it's flying with the other eagles. Write this down. Don't let your inexperience keep you from being who you were created to be. How many of you have had people in your life that doubted you, that said, you've never done this before, just quit? You know how you can tell the difference between an eagle and a chicken? See, a chicken will always run from a storm, but an eagle, when a storm comes, an eagle actually flies into the storm because it understands that the storm will give it lift so that it can fly above the storm. You know you're an eagle when you had a storm in your life that you thought was going to kill you, but instead of killing you, it lifted you higher than you've ever been lifted before. It lifted you to another level. And did you know that eagles mate in the air? What's great about that is that the eagle knows that it isn't hooked up with a chicken. And here's the problem. We have chickens in our lives that we want to see fly with the eagles, and all they keep doing is flapping up a little ways and falling back down, and flapping up a little ways and falling back down. And you can't let this bother you, because 2018 is your year to be synergistic with other eagles. Eagles live on another level. Eagles love on another level. Eagles dream and they think on another level. Eagles support you in your dreams. They have a higher vision like you have. They lift you up to the level that you want to get on. If you've been rejected, if someone's left you, if someone's quit the team, stop crying about it. It was just a chicken.
I think as we grow as a company, it's important for us to understand how eagles fall. There was a young man who wanted to see an eagle, and he thought, if I could just climb up on that hill right there, maybe I could see an eagle. And he climbed up, and he started watching, and he's watching. And he saw the eagle lock its eyes on some prey, and the eagle began to dive, and it dove, and it latched onto the prey, and it took off and soared through the heavens, and he's taking pictures as fast as he could, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the eagle began to fall like it had been shot. Who shot an eagle? And it began to fall down, boom! And it hit the rocks. The eagle's dead. Why do the mighty fall? Why do great men and women go down? And he ran up to the eagle to see what had killed this powerful bird. And he lifted up its massive wing. It hadn't been shot. There was a weasel attached to the eagle. He had gone down to catch the weasel for food, and it took off, and the weasel latched onto the eagle's chest, and it started biting it and biting it and biting it and biting it until eventually the eagle died. Not because the weasel was stronger than the eagle, but because the eagle didn't know when to let go. What are you holding on to in your life that's eating you alive that could ultimately take you down? What relationship? What job? What business? What mindset? What addiction? You might be an eagle, but write this down. Even eagles can fall if they don't know when to let go of what's eating them alive.
Sometimes in life, in order to get to the next level, you have to be willing to start over. It's never comfortable losing everything and starting over, is it? Not too long ago, my wife and I were teaching our son to count. And my wife said, Harrison, I want you to learn how to count to 100. And he said, let me start with 10. And he said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And he ran and said, Mommy, I can do it. I did it. I can count to 10. She said, didn't tell you to count to 10. Told you to count to 100. And he said, but Mommy, can't we just be excited that I can count to 10? And you know what? He was right. Whoever needs to count to 100? All anybody ever has to do is count to 10. Now I understand why so many people have a hard time with the lower levels. Because once they get to 10, they're not willing to go back to 1 again on the next level, where you have to learn again and study again and make mistakes again. I have people that come in this business that have had success in the past, and they want something extra for it. They don't want to have to make the dials. They don't want to have to do what it takes to recruit and build an agency. And so they go back to their job where they were unfulfilled, and they'll never reach their potential because they'd rather be a Big 10 on a lower level than to reposition themselves as a 1 on a higher level. And you have to make a decision. Are you going to stay a Big 10 on a lower level, or are you going to reposition yourself in symmetry as a 1 on a higher level?
Is 2018 going to be your year for repositioning? You might have to work harder than you've ever worked in your life. You might have to sacrifice. You're going to have to get uncomfortable. You might be going through a storm in this season, but you're not going to run from the storm. You're going to fly into it and let it take you to another level in your life. If 2018 is your year for increase, if it's your year to thrive, then stand up. Get up on your feet and let Brandon, Casey, and Brian hear you backstage. Stay increase! Stay increase! Stay increase! Thank you guys. Have a great night.